Imagine standing in a world where the balance of power is shifting right before our eyes. For decades, we've looked toward the West as the place where decisions were made, where innovation thrived, where influence seemed endless. But now, something remarkable is happening. A country that was once dismissed as developing, once overlooked in conversations about a global leadership, is rising with a force no one can ignore. That country is India. And today, we're going to talk about why India is not just a nation with potential, but a nation on the brink of becoming the next superpower in 2025. Now, let's pause for a second. When we hear the word superpower, we immediately think of military strength, giant economies, powerful leaders, maybe even cultural influence that shapes the whole world. For years, only a handful of countries fit that description. But India is rewriting the rules. It's not just about having the largest army or the biggest GDP. It's about resilience, ambition, and the sheer will of over 1 billion people who are hungry for progress. That's what makes India's story so powerful. Think about this. In just the last 3 decades, India has transformed from a nation struggling with poverty, scarcity, and limited infrastructure into a global hub of technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. What China did in manufacturing, India is doing in technology and services. And in a world driven by knowledge and digital connections, that's incredible advantage. Silicon Valley may still be the dream destination, but do you know where some of its most brilliant minds come from? India. Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, Arvind Krishna, leaders of Google, Microsoft, IBM, all with roots in India. And that's just scratching the surface. But let's not make this only about big tech. Let's talk about people. Over 65% of India's population is under the age of 35. That means India is one of the youngest nations on earth. Imagine the power of millions of young people, educated, ambitious, and determined to make their mark on the world. In contrast, much of the West is aging. China is aging. Japan is aging. But India is youthful, vibrant, full of energy. That demographic advantage alone is a superpower in itself. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Sure, India has potential, but potential doesn't always equal reality. And you're right. A country this massive has its share of challenges. Poverty, inequality, infrastructure gaps, political debates that sometimes feel never-ending. But here's the thing. India has faced challenges for centuries. It has been invaded, colonized, divided, and yet it has never lost its spirit. If history has taught us anything, it's that India knows how to adapt, how to survive, and ultimately how to rise. Let's zoom into 2025. What exactly makes India's rise so different today? First, the economy. India is now the world's 5th largest economy, and by 2025, it is set to climb even higher. This is not just about numbers on a chart. This is about millions of people lifted out of poverty, millions entering the middle class, millions with access to better education, healthcare, and opportunities. This is about a new consumer market that's driving global growth. If you're a global company and you're not thinking about India, you're already behind. Second, technology. India isn't just catching up, it's leapfrogging. Think of digital payments. In many countries, people are still fumbling with credit cards and checks. In India, a street vendor with a cart can take payments instantly with just a QR code. In rural villages, farmers can sell crops online with a smartphone. India has built one of the most advanced digital infrastructures in the world. Not for the few, but for the many. That's revolutionary. Third, space exploration. Yes, space. In 2023, India stunned the world by landing a spacecraft on the moon's south pole, something no other country had done. For a fraction of the cost, India's space agency achieved what others thought impossible. And by 2025, India's ambitions in space are only growing. This is not just about prestige. It's about being at the cutting edge of technology, science, and global influence. And then there's culture. You can't talk about superpowers without culture. Hollywood has shaped global culture for decades. But look at Bollywood, Tollywood, Indian music, Indian food, yoga, philosophy. They've all gone global. Walk into any major city in the United States or Europe, and you'll find Indian restaurants on every corner. Millions around the world practice yoga every morning. Bollywood movies stream on Netflix to audiences who don't even speak Hindi. That's soft power. That's influence, and it's growing. But here's what makes India's rise truly inspirational. It's not about dominating others. It's not about conquering or intimidating. India's vision of power is different. It's about inclusion. It's about democracy. It's about showing the world that a country can stay true to its culture, its diversity, and still thrive on the global stage. In a time when authoritarian models of power seem to be rising, India stands as proof that democracy, messy as it may be, can still deliver results. Let's talk about the people who make this possible. Every year, millions of young Indians graduate as engineers, doctors, scientists, entrepreneurs. Some stay in India and build companies. Others travel abroad and lead innovation globally. But no matter where they are, they carry that Indian spirit, hardworking, resourceful, ambitious. This global Indian network is another hidden strength. It's like having ambassadors of Indian talent and influence in every corner of the world. Now let's bring this closer to you. Why should you care if India becomes a superpower? Because it's not just about India. It's about the world we're all going to live in. A stronger India means a stronger partner for solving global problems: climate change, energy, healthcare, technology. A stronger India means more competition, more innovation, more creativity. And a stronger India means balance in a world where power has often been concentrated in just a few places. Think about climate change. India is one of the countries most vulnerable to rising temperatures and extreme weather. But instead of waiting for others, India is investing massively in renewable energy. By 2025, it is set to be one of the leaders in solar and wind power. Imagine the impact of 1 billion people moving toward sustainable energy. It changed the global equation. Or think about defense and security. India already has one of the largest militaries in the world. But what makes it unique is its position as a stabilizing force in Asia. Between the United States, China, and Russia, global tensions can get unpredictable. But India, with its strategic location, its democratic values, and its growing influence, has the chance to play peacemaker, to bring balance where others bring conflict. Let's not sugarcoat things. India's path to superpower status is not guaranteed. There are obstacles: political debates, social divides, economic inequality, environmental challenges. But that's exactly why this story is motivational. Because superpowers are not born in comfort, they are born in struggle. And India's journey is proof that no matter where you start, no matter how tough the odds, with vision, resilience, and determination, you can rise. Now imagine yourself as part of that story. Because this isn't just India's story, it's a lesson for all of us. How many times have people doubted you? How many times have they told you that you're too small, too weak, too late? India was told the same thing for decades, and yet here it is, standing tall, ready to lead. If a nation of 1.4 billion can turn doubt into destiny, so can you. Think of a young student in a small town in India, studying late into the night with nothing but a single bulb and big dreams. Think of a farmer using a smartphone to sell crops directly, bypassing middlemen. Think of a young entrepreneur creating a startup in Bangalore that could soon change the way the world uses AI. These stories aren't just Indian stories. They're human stories. They remind us that greatness doesn't come from where you start, but from where you choose to go. By 2025, the world will look different. Economies will shift, politics will shift, technology will shift, but one thing is certain: India will not just be a part of that future, it will help shape it, and that should excite all of us. Because when India rises, the world rises with it. So the next time someone asks you who the next superpower is, don't look only to the usual suspects. Look to the nation with the world's youngest population, the fastest growing economy, the boldest ambitions in space and technology, and the richest cultural heritage on earth. Look to India, because the future isn't just coming. In 2025, the future is India. And as we close, remember this: superpower isn't just a title for countries, it's a mindset for people. If India can rise, so can you. If India can transform doubt into determination, so can you. And if India can stand tall in 2025 as the next superpower, then maybe it's time for all of us to believe that no dream, no matter how big, is out of reach.